Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and finally, they have finally done it after a long time. The Universe 6 Namekians have been officially added to Dokkan. Now, these, of course, are units that badly needed to be added to Dokkan. I like what they did with this so far. So, what this is this is a single card that has both of the Universe 6 Namekians in it. Now, I do hope to eventually get separate cards for each of them, preferably summonable, just as like kind of a buff for the Namekian category, right? Because the Namekian category, you know, in all honesty, is probably the worst category in the game because, like, you know, the low-class warrior is like right there with how bad it is, but I'm going to do a video on that very, very soon. But that low-class warrior team, you know, got a big buff with a Dokkan Fest exclusive being added to the team. So, you know, that's a really, really big thing to consider. So, both of the Namekians are here in this card. Again, they are very, very good. You know, they'll be, especially in the Namekian category team, they're actually going to be a lot stronger. So, if we look at it here, right? So, basically, the way these guys work is that on the Namekian category team, right, they get 30% attack and defense and 1 key for every Namekian category ally on the team. So, essentially, on the Namekian category team, they will always super attack #1, and they're going to have a lot of attack and defense, right? They're going to be very, very solid. So, you know, I like them. Now, we believe they're going to be a free-to-play unit, you know, so that's a very important thing to remember. Also, the fact that we have to think about here is, you know, they are going to be pretty easy to obtain, which will be good. I like this. I like this. Like I was thinking, it's like, you know, the Namekian category needs buffs so bad that I was kind of hoping that the Universe 6 Namekians would eventually be summonable, right? But at least they designed them in the way that they're going to be very good on this Namekian category team, right? So, like, you know, let's say the next Super Battle Road update does indeed have the Namekians, you know, category stage. Like, that's going to be really, really interesting. You know, I think these guys are going to be able to help out a lot. Now, the other thing, too, is they also get 15% attack and defense for every Universe 6 category ally on the team. So really, okay, so they're, okay, wow, 600,000 right there. That's no support type unit on rotation. Again, keep in mind that's also only on a double, what are we on right now? A double 77% lead? So I feel like that's actually pretty good. Like, you know, this is not a true category team, so like, we're not looking for them to hit a 1 million attack stat, right? Because, you know, it's not like this is an actual, you know, like, you know, category boss or anything. Like, you know, there's not like true, it's not a 150% lead team. So, you know, we're not looking for them to get up to 1 million. Like, see, there's old King Piccolo right there with support, and he was at less attack than Universe 6 Namekians. So, I think they're going to be quite good for what is essentially looking like free-to-play units. I'm quite pleased with this. So, they also get 15% attack and defense for every Universe 6 category ally on the team. Now, what's interesting about this is I think this is going to count as well for them being on the teams themselves, right? So, basically, the way that's going to work is, like, if we're on a full Namekian category team, right? They should have 210% attack and defense, but wouldn't they also count as Universe 6 category ally? So does that mean they're also going to get an additional 15% attack and defense? So they realistically could be up there at what? 225% attack and defense? Like, is that what they're sitting at? Because that's pretty good. That's quite solid for a free-to-play unit. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work, because every time we see some sort of, like, passive or some sort of unit like this, it always does seem to function in that way. Okay, so we're going to get a giant transformation from our boy Lord Slug here. Now, they also do give an attack buff on their super attack, right? That's another thing for us to consider. They give 20% attack for 1 turn on their super attack. That's definitely something that could be kind of useful. Their links aren't really too big of a concern. You know, and then, you know, the categories, they're on just the traditional category teams we would expect. You know, the Universal Survival Arc team. They're on the Universe 6 team. They're also on the combination category. Now, they're not going to be really too big of a deal for, like, the combination category or anything like that. They could be a solid option for the Universe 6 team, of course, because, you know, they're going to be a lot weaker on that team than they would on the Namekian team. It's almost like, it's funny, they're designed in a way to where they can't take advantage of, like, the ridiculously high attack buff that they could get right now, right? So, like, I kind of like what they did. Like, they made them, so if this unit was on, like, a 170% team, and they were able to get, like, that 235% attack buff, like, you know, they would, even as a free-to-play unit, you know, they might be closing in possibly on, like, a, you know, 1.3, 1.4 million attack stat, you know, with the right support units around and stuff like that. So that could be very, very interesting, right? So I would give Bandai and Akatsuki definitely a thumbs up for this, because you know, these units are probably going to be farmable from the new Universe 6 story event, right? There's the Vados card, there's a new Champa, a new Hit, and then, of course, the Universe 6 Namekians as well. So, like, there's going to be a lot of farmable units coming from that Universe 6 story event. Now, I know global players are upset about that, but don't worry. That story event will for sure eventually be hitting global as well. That's not going to be a JP exclusive or anything like that, so I really would not be concerned. I know, you know, it is an issue. Okay, real quick. So it will be our best rotation for the Universe 6 Namekians right now. You know, we've got Kami here. We have them right there on rotation. So let's see what happens once we get, you know, a little bit of support from our boy Kami. And then Piccolo able to get a lot of rainbow orbs as well. Also, I'll be curious to see, like, if Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would super attack them. Now, they're holding up well defensively, and they're up to 720,000. Again, if they were on a proper category team, like, we definitely could get them past a million. No doubt about that. Like let's just pretend the Namekian category, right, had, like, a 170% lead. We would easily be able to get them past a million. You know, and who knows how high exactly we could get it. So that's interesting. You know, it's going to be very curious to see, like, are they going to have, like, a dual category leader at some point that might include, like, the Namekian category team or something? So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting factors with some of these low-level categories, right? Peppy Gals, World Tournament, Low Class Warrior, Namekian. Like, you know, I think the dual category meta is a perfect way to sort of give them, like, strong leaders, right? Like, we could get some sort of Kefla card, I would say, for example, that could be, like, I don't know, well, I mean, there already is a Kefla Patara lead, right? So I don't know, she could be like a Peppy Gal lead, and then also, like, Patara. That would be an interesting team. You know, we could get some sort of maybe like a Dokkan Fest exclusive base form Bardock, you know, who is like low class warrior, and then he's also like, I don't know, revived warrior or something. That probably, well, you know, normal base form Bardock wouldn't be revived, but you guys get what I'm saying. I don't know, maybe like most Malevolent Clan wouldn't really make sense, and like, you know, low class Saiyan plus pure Saiyan would be kind of odd, but I guess like it could be something like low class Saiyan could get like, you know, 200%, and then pure Saiyan could get like 150% or something like that. You know, could create an interesting dynamic for the team. So I don't know, guys. I mean, there's certainly a lot of interesting things moving forward with a lot of these, you know, various units that they're adding. You know, this is a big mark of a unit that we needed added to Dokkan, the Universe 6 Namekians, you know, who played an interesting role in the Universal Survival Arc, you know, fighting against Gohan and Piccolo for as long as they did. Plus, finally, we got a Vados card, which is another big deal. So Dokkan is certainly, you know, filling in a lot of the blanks that have been there recently. Like, you know, so many cards. Look at even in Super Vegeta. Finally, there's a good Super Vegeta. Like, you know, so Dokkan is just kind of going through a lot of the forgotten characters of Dragon Ball history and making them solid, you know. And the new category, like the category meta, is beautiful. But, all right, guys, we'll go ahead and finish up here. I like the Universe 6 Namekians. We'll take a look at Vados next. Let me know what you guys think about them, and I will catch y'all next time.